जैसे ही आप जैसे सुविधा समझे, नहीं तो मैं सुनता हूँ, आप सुन लीजिएगा।
काफी लंबा है ये तो।
नहीं, ये थोड़ा सा ही है मैडम, ये शॉर्ट है,
अच्छा
ये अलग है।
अच्छा
ये हमारा
ठीक है।
थोड़ा सा अलग है, खाली श्लोकाज है अंदर में। फर्स्ट श्लोका है खाली।
ओके सो विल फॉलो प्रभु जी। ओके गो अहेड प्रभु जी।
अच्छा,
नीचे करेंगे ना? हाँ वो नहीं है पूरा। हाँ।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा, सद्गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ब्रह्मानंदं परम सुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं, द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वम् अस्यादिलक्ष्यम्, एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वादिसाक्षिभूतं, भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। काषाय वस्त्रकरदण्डधारिणं कमण्डलु पद्मकरेण शङ्खं चक्रगदाभूषितं भूषणाय श्रीपादराजं शरणं प्रपद्ये। ध्यानमूलं सद्गुरो मूर्ति पूजामूलं सद्गुरो पदं, मंत्रमूलं सद्गुरो वाक्य मोक्षमूलं सद्गुरो कृपा। अज्ञानमूलहरणं जन्म कर्म निवारणं ज्ञान वैराग्य सिद्ध्यर्थं सद्गुरु पादोदकं पिबेत्। कृते जनार्दनयो त्रेतायां रघुनन्दनाः, द्वापारे रामकृष्ण कलौ श्रीपाद श्रीवल्लभाय। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ, निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। या कुंदे तुषारहार धवला, या शुभ्रवत्सावृता, या वीणावरदंड मंडित करा, या श्वेत पद्मासना, या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभूति देवै सदा वंदिता, सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष जाड्या पहा। सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके, शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते। मनोजवं मारुतुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रिय बुद्धिमत्तां वरिष्ठं, वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। हरिभक्त विरक्त विज्ञान राशि, जेने मानसी स्थापिले निश्चयासी, तया दर्शने स्पर्शने पुण्य जोडे, तया भाषणे नष्ट संदेह मोडे। सदा सर्वदा योग तुझा घडावा, तुझे कारणी देह माझा पडावा। उपेक्षू नको गुणवंतानंता, रघुनायका मागणे हेच आता। उपासनेला दृढ चालवावे, भूदेव संताशी सदा नमावे। सत्कर्म योगे वय घालवावे, सर्वांमुखी मंगल बोलवावे। ज्या ज्या स्थळी हे मन जाय माझे, त्या त्या स्थळी हे निजरूप तुझे। मी ठेवितो मस्तक ज्या ठिकाणी, तेथे तुझे सद्गुरु पाय दोनी। आकाशात पतितं तोयं यथा गच्छति सागरं, सर्वदेव नमस्कारं केशवं प्रति गच्छति। यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मांतर कृतानि
हत्यादिकानि
च,
च तानि
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 कानि विनश्यन्ति
प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा
प्रदक्षिणे
पदे
पदे
पदे।
जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा
कृष्ण
हरे
हरे
हरे,
हरे, हरे
हरे
हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे। हरि बोल।
हरि बोल। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। Okay, so we have a lot of stuff to do today. Everybody has prepared some shlokas to discuss. So I think let's get started. So actually the first person on my list is Atharv. But before we start with Atharv, I just wanted to give a little glorify Bhagavad Gita just for a few minutes and set the scene. Remember, first chapter is setting the scene, right? Observing the armies. So since nobody has picked anything from first chapter, I thought I'll just quickly talk about that, because actually first chapter is very, very, very important. That's where we are right now in our life. We are stuck in the first chapter. We are stuck in the bewilderment and various confusions, various problems overtake our mind, and we have nobody to guide us. So unlike Arjuna had Krishna as his spiritual master, we do not know whom to turn to. So we just get completely bewildered and lose focus in our life of what is important, just like Arjuna did. He was preparing for this war for so many years. He knew what was important. He had suffered so much at the hands of Kauravas. And yet when the time came, he could not find himself capable of fighting. So he gives 5 reasons in first chapter of why he cannot fight against his relatives. So can anyone tell me what was the 5 reasons? Yes, Prabhu, you can only say one.
He was talking about his dharma, that by killing all my relatives, friends, and family, I will get a lot of sin.
Sinful reaction, yes. So that's one, sinful reaction. He was worried about sin. Was he scared of fighting? Did he not want to fight? Was he afraid?
No, he was not.
Who thinks he was afraid? No, right? That was not. So with typical people, when they see such a big army, you know how big the Kauravas army was, so much bigger than the Pandavas, and he was not scared of that at all. What he was worried about is, one, like Ravi Prabhu said, sinful reaction that he would get by killing his relatives. What are the other 4 reasons?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bola.
Where like his family and his friends were also on the other side, so he didn't want to fight with them or kill them.
Why?
Compassion one.
So compassion. So
because he had compassion for them.
So if we go in the order, the way they are mentioned in the first chapter, the first reason Arjuna gives to Krishna is compassion.
Mm-hmm.
The second reason he gives is sinful reaction. What is the third one?
He was worried about his 4th generation, like upcoming generation will get destroyed and like coming up. So because he thought that if I kill all the males, the female may go vaibhavicharani, like so those kind of, I don't know the English word for that. So he was worried about the upcoming generation will not get the right cultural, the right kind of value, the set.
Yes, Prabhuji. So destruction of family tradition.
See, you have the right vocabulary. I'm just going around the bush.
No, you're good. So compassion, sinful reaction, destruction of family tradition.
मैं mnemonic discuss किया था. Remember this actually when we started. Do you remember anybody? CSEDI.
We didn't hear the first part, Prabhuji. What you said?
Mnemonic. इसको याद करने का आराम से easy तरीका है कि what were the reasons that were given by Arjuna? What were the reasons that were given? The CSCDI. So C is compassion. Then S, as you said, is sinful reaction. Then
D, Prabhuji mentioned.
D, he said destruction of family traditions. I comes in the next one. That is indecision. CSE. E से क्या था, Tasha?
Who will tell E?
C.
When Nirbhay Prabhu is trumped, then I have to ask other people. E. So you know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if this is right, but it might be with like the compassion one, but didn't he feel like he would have, if he fought and they won the war, he would have the kingdom, but then it would be gained on like a bad cause, then there would be no point.
Yes, that's kind of right. So E is for enjoyment, that he would not be able to enjoy. Like whatever we want, we usually want it so that we can enjoy it. You know, if I have a new car, what is the point of it if nobody can see it and I can't show it off, right? So I can't enjoy it. So he said, like, even if I have the whole world, but I don't have my all family members are killed, then who will I enjoy it with? I wouldn't be able to enjoy it if I've got it, as Vedi said, after killing all my family members and people. So that was enjoyment.
Okay, so these were the 5 reasons. 4 of these are mentioned in first chapter, and indecision comes in second chapter, the first few verses. So I just put up these shlokas to show how he was so bewildered. So when the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. And then the next 1.30 says, I'm now unable to stand here any longer. I'm forgetting myself. My mind is reeling. I see only cause of misfortune of Krishna, the killer of Keshi demon. So basically, he's completely bewildered here. Better for me, the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me, unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. So he's ready to be killed. I'll put my weapons down and they just kill me. In the next chapter, he even says, why don't I just take sannyas? Why don't I just go away? And having spoken thus on the battlefield, Arjuna cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. So he was completely bewildered what to do. And that is our situation. So a lot of times people say, how is Bhagavad Gita relevant? It was spoken on a battlefield to a warrior. We are not warriors. We are not fighting. We are not fighting a war against anybody. Why do we need to know this? And then there are people that will take wrong message out of Bhagavad Gita and say, okay, body is the only thing that dies, not the soul. So it's okay to kill people. Bhagavad Gita is teaching violence, or Bhagavad Gita is teaching us to wage war against other people. So it is okay to kill or to commit violence. So they take completely wrong message out of Bhagavad Gita. And that's what happens when we are not taking anybody's guidance, when we don't have a spiritual master. So here Arjun was very intelligent. When he was bewildered, he took the shelter of Krishna. So Krishna was so far his friend, his relative, but now he made him his spiritual master. And Krishna is Jagat Guru. So making him spiritual master, he had the perfect guidance. And by means of Arjuna, actually, Krishna is teaching us what to do. So coming back to the point, why is Bhagavad Gita so relevant? If it was spoken to a warrior on a battlefield, we are not warriors, we are not on a battlefield. So I don't want to take too much time because I just wanted to set the scene with the first chapter so that everybody can get on, but I'll give the answers. So the reason it is relevant to us is because even though there is no war waging in front of us, we are not physically fighting with anybody. There are so many wars waging inside of us. We are constantly fighting within ourselves. We are fighting with our anger. We are never at peace. We are fighting with tendency to lust or envy or greed. So many things we are fighting against. We are fighting to stay away from these attachments and desires of the world. So many desires. I know one of the girls have picked a shloka where this is so many incessant flow of desires constantly tortures us. We don't know where to go, what to do. So we are fighting against all those things. That's why there are so many problems. So even though there are no big problems in life, right now Corona is a big problem, but otherwise people are very comfortably living. Roti, kapda, or makan is not really the problem of people these days. Those are some real problems, but even people that don't have those problems are still suffering. And that's because of our interior miseries. So Krishna, at the turn of Dwapar Yuga, when Dwapar Yuga was finishing, Kali Yuga was starting, he knew what would be the state of people in Kali Yuga, that people will be fighting with all these problems within themselves. And so he gave us this tool of Bhagavad Gita. He gave us the arms. Just like he gave power to Arjuna's Gandhi, he gave us these powerful instruments, arms to fight with, but we just never use them. So a lot of people have Bhagavad Gita, but nobody cares to open it. So that's why it is still relevant in this world, and this especially relevant, more relevant to us than it was to Arjuna actually. And so finally Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, and this is a very, very important shlok. This is where Arjuna let go of his ego and pride and surrendered completely, took shelter of Krishna. And he said, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava prichami tvam dharma sammoda cheta yachyashayan nishchitam brohitan me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. Very, very important shloka. So he says, Shishyasteham, I am your student now. You instruct me. Mam tvam prapannam. You tell me what to do. Please instruct me. Now I am your disciple. So this is where Bhagavad Gita starts. Up till now, Krishna was only listening to what Arjuna was saying. All his reasons he gave of compassion, sinful reaction. I won't be able to enjoy. What's the use? I want to run away, become a sannyasi. I'll let them kill me. All this nonsensical reasons that he proposed to Krishna. Krishna listened to them patiently, and once he surrendered, then Krishna started speaking. All right, so we'll get started. So is Atharv ready, or yeah? All right, Atharv, go for it.
Nenam Shandati Shastrani Neman Dahati Pavaka Nachanam Kalidayantipo Nasosyati Marata.
So you read the translation.
Weapons cannot shred the soul, nor fire can burn it. Water cannot flood it, nor the wind dry it.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. So let's all of us recite this very quickly. It's very, very nice shloka. Nenam chindanti shastrani. Loud, everybody, come on.
Nenam
Chintanti Shastrani
Nenam dehati pavaka.
Nainam Dahati Pavaka
Na chenam kledyantyaapo.
Nachainam Pradyantapo
Na shoshyati maruta.
Nasoshyati Maruta.
Okay, very good. So Atharv, what did you understand from this?
Speak louder. Speak louder.
The souls can't be destroyed by like any weapons.
Good. Next, what else? Nor can it be burned, right? This is what you understand.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, very good.
do this.
Yeah, weapons cannot cut it, right? Fire cannot burn it. You said it. So it cannot be affected by all these physical elements, right? They can affect the body, but not the soul, right? And with every shloka that we are reciting, I put forward one to two shlokas of the same import. We don't have to spend too much time, but just quickly to read 2.20. This was 2.23, 2.20. A good teacher always reinforces his point. So Krishna is like that. Krishna reinforces his point multiple times in various shlokas through the chapters. So he says, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. And then the next one, 2.24, after the one that Atharv did, this individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, can be neither burnt nor dried. He's everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. So this is all from chapter 2, where Krishna is giving the knowledge of spirit soul to Arjun, how we are eternal beings, we are not this body. This is the basic knowledge he's giving. Okay, Lalita Mataji.
I picked 2.47. Karmanye edikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karme phalahetu mate sambho tava karmani. So the reason you have
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to doing your duty. I picked this one as this is one of the famous and popular verses, and it offers a deep insight into the proper spirit of work. And just while looking up, I realized that this is one of the most memorized sloka in Bhagavad Gita over all the world. So many people know this sloka and have memorized it. So I did it in a Raviji also forwarded me this link. So I used a different reference for summarizing this sloka. This sloka could be summarized into 4 points. Number 1, do your duty, but do not concern yourself with the results. The second point is fruits of your action are not for your enjoyment. And 3, even while working, give up the pride of doership. And 4, do not be attached to inaction. So the first one, again, do your duty, but do not concern yourself with the result. There's a humorous acronym, NATO, N-A-T-O, not attached to outcome. So we only have the right to duty, but remember that the results are dependent on multiple other things. It's not just our actions. So our results are dependent on the destiny, efforts of others, the place, the situation. So there's many other things that affect the outcome or the results. So being anxious of the results is not advised. Just concentrate on action. That's first bullet point. Then the second one is fruits of your action are not for your enjoyment. So to perform action is part of our human life. So having come to this world, we all have various duties depending on our situations, depending on our roles in the society. So we are here to perform the action. And while doing our actions, we should leave the results, and because the results are meant for God. The results are not for us. So number 3, while working, give up the pride of doership. So one has to forego the ego of being a doer. So do not consider oneself as the cause of the result of his actions. Just don't be egoistical, like I'm doing this, and also just have to give the pride of doership. And the last is do not be attached to inaction. So although the nature of living being is to work, so we are born here to work, and often situations arise where work seems to be burdensome and confusing. And even in those cases, we should not run away from work, but we must understand and implement the science of work. It's not appropriate to consider work as laborious or burdensome and resort to inaction. We still have to work. And attached to inaction is not a solution. Everyone must perform their duties. So that's what I got.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Very nice. Very bold.
Very nice, Mary.
And I just had 2 shlokas from 3rd chapter 3.30. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya dhyatma chetasha nirasir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigajvara. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. So this is another shloka that gives the same message as Karmanyavadikaraste. It is also popular. That's basically surrender all your work unto me. And the next one from 9.27, also very famous, Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kante atat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, whatever austerities you perform, do them as an offering to me. Tat kurushva madarpanam. Like you do that as an offering. So your karma you do as if you're doing a sacrifice into a yajna. That you do and it's done. Then you don't care about, then you let Krishna take care of the fruit, of the results. You don't do it for the fruit or for the result. So one of the things Lalita Mataji presented very excellently. The only one thing I wanted to add, which I sometimes find confusing, is people say that if we don't care about the result, we won't be able to do that action very well. Because let's say child says that if I'm thinking of if I don't care for it, for a good position, good rank in the class, then I won't be able to study very well. So you doesn't mean you don't have to care. You do care for what your goal is. You should have a goal in mind, otherwise it is hard to reach. So goal should be there, and you do your best towards achieving that goal. You give your best towards achieving that goal. But when it's done, you don't care about if you don't get it, then it was Krishna's will. If you got it, then it was Krishna's will. Then you have to figure out the next step. You don't get so, like people in India, especially these days, it's horrific how kids are, if they don't get certain rank or certain percentage of marks, they commit suicide and whatnot, because they get so attached to that result that they think that life is not worth it. They have disappointed their parents, whatnot. That should not be the consciousness. The consciousness is I did my best job, and I can I can try to improve and all of this with guidance, but doesn't mean that this was Krishna's will that I get this grade this time, or that this year I will not be able to get through. I'll try harder next year. So goal should be in the mind, but you don't get so attached to the result that it's this, nothing or everything kind of situation. So just something small point that I wanted to add. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can't hear you.
Hear you.
You can hear him. You are next.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Frozen.
Now we can.
Ravi.
Okay, what I was saying is like, the practically also one thing is that in that sloka, which teaches, like as Mataji just mentioned, that why should we perform or why should we work if we are not worried about the outcome? But also, if you think otherwise, if I'm working hard and if I'm working the right way, who is going to get my result? It's only me who will get it. But if you focus on the result and then work, and then if something doesn't happen, then you are more it causes the bondage. So if you go in deep in this, if you want to free yourself from the bondage of your karma, that's where this suggestion is given by Krishna, that if you want to go into the path of liberation, then you keep doing your work, but just don't be attached to its, because at the time you start attaching to the results of your work, then you are basically going to keep revolving in the cycle of birth and death. So that's again, like it gets more clear as we read Gita further and further, why it is said here that don't be attached to the results of your karma, and also don't even consider yourself a doer, because it's like a nice example is given that I think Lalitaji, Mataji had that, like, and you also have mentioned lot of time before, like, like say for the spoon that we used to cook, the spoon itself has no value. It's the hand which is holding the spoon and cooking. So whenever we do our work, it's just like we are like a spoon. We have no meaning, no value. As long as we are, it's the person, the Supreme God, who is basically making us do everything that we are doing. So this is all deep understanding. As we read Gita further, we understand more deep why this sloka was, why is Krishna is telling here, and how it is how it is understood in day-to-day life. Like if we continue to work, nobody besides me will get the result. It's only me who will get the outcome. But then don't just focus on the result and work. That's where you have the stress and anxiety.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, you just become a puppet in the hands of Krishna, right? Just become an instrument in the hands of Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji, you want to do yours?
Oh, mine already here? Oh, Mataji. Okay. Hare Krishna. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषु उपाजयते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो अभिजायते. So here also in the same when Arjuna, just the background here, Arjuna had asked in when we go in that like close to 50 like sloka, he asked how does the person who is actually situated in the equanimity, how does the person talk, how does the person walk, and all those, how does the person has a language. So those kind of person who is actually self-realized, what are the symptoms of that person. So in continuation, when Krishna starts to give him the knowledge, he starts here in this sloka and the one after this, why do we have the, no, why do we always fall down? What is the main reason that we always get, we instead of getting the divinity or going toward liberation, we actually fall down. So here he's trying to say that while contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. So before I explain everything, I'm going to go in the 263, which is a continuation of this. So he says in 263, Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohati smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhransad buddhi nasho, buddhi nashat pranashyati. So once the anger arises, from anger, complete delusion arises. And from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So to give my understanding of this, these two slokas, in our real day-to-day life, what we are trying to do is like, how do we get angry? Because there are three doors to the narak or whatever, like falling down: Kam, Krodh, and Lobh, the desire, anger, and the greed. So this sloka explains very well, like how do we fall down from anger? So how does the anger happen? So everything starts from the contemplating on the sense object. Like we have a sense organs and like Gyanendriya, and then from that sense organs, we contemplate on the sense objects. Example I would give, like if there is a child and if you have the pizza in front of the child sees the pizza and starts thinking about the pizza. So then what is happening? By thinking about the contemplating on the sense object, he develops the attachment for them. That's where the desire comes. And the desire is leading to two things. If he gets the things done for him, he gets the love or the greed. Or if he doesn't get the things done for him, then he gets the angry or the krodh. So that is the giving him the desire is leading into two different paths. Either you get greedy or you get angry, krodhi. So, and once, then after that krodh, what happens? The krodh basically lets the emotion kick in, and then we start not using our memory. So that's what it says, the krodha bhavati sammoha. So from when the anger is arised, then we are not using our intelligence because our judgment gets clouded. We get some mohit. And once judgment is clouded, then what happened? We can't remember what is right and what is wrong. So the memory is kind of gone. And as a result, when we can't make the judgment and we don't know what is right and wrong, then we basically make very wrong decision, and then that really leads to the fall down of the person. So it's the kind of a cycle, it's a chain reaction. So how do we overcome this? So if we have the sense organs, we can't just keep the sense organs in control, because we know that our mind is always agitated, and so it will lead to the fall down. But the solution here that Krishna gives us, or the purport gives us, if we put our sense organs and the contemplation of our sense object into the Krishna, everything that we use, make it Krishna centered, then we have, like, we can proceed on the path of liberation instead of falling down, because then we will not be going in the cycle of anger and the greed by having the desire. So the desire should be controlled, and it should be channelized toward Krishna consciousness. So for example, another example, like if we want to eat the right food, that's the sense object, then if we make it like a right food for Krishna and offer that to Krishna and then eat it, then you are basically not getting into the greed portion part. You're eating like a prasadam, and then you're not having the desire to eat more and more. It's like you change the whole mindset here. So that doesn't let you go into the, like a cycle of rebirth and rebirth and rebirth. And another thing I wanted to add here, another in my healthcare that I see, how the memory is so important for the intelligence. Because everything in the same person, when you don't have your memory working, then the same person is not considered intelligent, or like it doesn't behave like an intelligent person. For example, a abnormal pathological situation of a dementia where people don't have a memory. Same person who was very intelligent maybe 5 years back, now he's losing his memory. The same person is not even considered, or is not able to do the same thing that he did as an intelligent person. So memory is so important. And again, the memory comes from Krishna. So again, I want to tie this back to, like, if we want to have our intelligence working like as it is, so that memory that we have, it comes from Krishna. So we again have to work for him. That way we can get the right memory and the right speech at the right time when we want to use it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So detailed. Like you gave so many examples. Very nice. Thank you. This was the shloka they were asking in Kahoot today, but I think that they messed it up.
They messed it up. You're right, because I think Vaidehi, I explained this to Vaidehi and everybody yesterday. So they got it right. We had the contemplation, and then attachment, and then the anger, and then the loss of intelligence. But they had put them wrong.
Yeah.
It was some kind of a technical error, I don't know.
So another example that is given many times is the example of advertisement industry. The whole advertisement industry is based on this one word, dhyato.
Dhyato, yes.
This is what is running the whole industry, all this cosmetics, like they'll show you a thing. The first time you will see it, you will be like, oh, I don't want it, I don't need it. But then they keep showing it over and over again. So you keep contemplating on it. Maybe I could use it for this thing or that thing. Then somebody, one of your friends or somebody will buy it, and they'll tell you all the good uses you can put it to. Then you'll be like, okay, maybe I should also try it. So the whole fall down started from contemplating. So somebody will keep contemplating, let's say on a very expensive car or something, right? Will develop attachment to them. And finally they will get it. They'll think that, oh, everybody will be so envious of me because I bought this car. Then you see that your neighbor actually has a better, bigger car than you. So then all that effort was futile. So then anger or frustration arises. So in material world, our efforts are frustrated like that.
Yeah, even in the Gita itself, in the chapter 17, sloka 21, I can't recite the sloka. It's very clearly said that there are 3 entrances for the Narak: Kam, Krodh, and Lobh. So it is advised for people to get rid of these 3 things. And usually, 1621, yes. 3 vidham narakasya, yes. 3 gates leading to this hell. Oh, Mataji already had this on the slide. Okay.
Prabhuji, I knew you were going to quote it.
So basically it's the calm, because the desire leads to the Krodh and the Lobh. So once we know how to have the desire for Krishna, then we are actually shutting down other two doors. So we have to actually work on controlling our sense gratification. And it's not that you have to subside it or control it. You put it in a different channel for Krishna. You can still do the same thing. If you want to watch TV, you can watch the kirtan and bhajan, even like something like, I mean, I'm not going in extreme, but what I'm saying is a person should have the good intelligence to know how to control the sense gratification. And all of us have this sense gratification in our, in the body, because we are all made from the prakriti also. The Maya is always on top of us. So the only time we can be on top of Maya when we put our intelligence for Krishna and then just center around him, and that's how the Maya will be under control. And I think there is a saying also from Radha Swaminath that, if we want to get protected from Maya, we always have to ask Krishna to save me and save me and save me. There's no other way around.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. So yeah, this is very important shloka. It clearly says that there are three doors to hell: anger, greed, and lust. And this one I had put up, also very famous one. Yehi samparsha ja bhoga. So intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end. And so the wise man does not delight in them. So intelligent people know that these are just sources of misery, and they're happening because of the contact with material senses. So they're temporary. So we should stop that whole chain, whole cycle at dhyato, at contemplation.
Dhyato is the main initiation. So one should not contemplate on the sense object. The time it starts to come, you should start controlling right there.
Like Taco Bell for Avni, I know. Okay, Raina.
2.67 Indriyanam hi charatam janmano nuvidiyate tarasya harati pragnam fire navami vambasi. As a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence.
Yes, same thing. Roaming senses, dhyato.
So in this shloka, there's an analogy. The boat, it's represented by, or the intelligence is represented by the boat, and the uncontrolled or wandering senses are represented by the wind or storm. Other parts of this analogy are the sails or captain, which is the spiritual master, the destination, which is back to Godhead, and the anchor, which is Krishna consciousness or bhakti. This verse explains how our wandering senses kidnap our intelligence. It compares this to a boat during a storm. The boat represents our intelligence, while the storm represents the uncontrolled or wandering senses. One can overcome this by remaining in Krishna consciousness or bhakti. Good intelligence, good health, being a good human being, and being a good daughter, son, sister, brother, student, or parent will help you reach Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
Haribol.
Haribol. So Raina, can you give, so it says the key here is even one of the roaming senses can carry away a man's intelligence. Can you give some examples? Maybe Shubhavilas Prabhu, has he discussed this shloka?
Yes,
Did he give some examples from some animals comes to mind?
What? Any animals come to mind?
Okay, I didn't know if he had talked about this. Okay, so this shloka, there are some analogies. Even one of the roaming senses can carry away one's intelligence. So this is a very, very famous shloka. Kurang matang patang bhring meena hata pancha bhireva pancha eka pramadi sa katham nahanyate ye sevate panchabhi eva pancha. So there are 5 animals written here. Kurang is the deer. Matang is the elephant. Patang is the like a wasp or moth. Bhirang is the bee. And meen is the fish. Okay, so there are 5 animals. Each of this animal has a fall down because of just one roaming sense. So Kurang or the deer by the urges of ears. Like they, in the forest, if you want to capture a deer, the hunter will play very sweet music, and the deer will be so captivated. It will stand still and just listen to the music, and the hunter will just come and kill him. So it doesn't run away, it doesn't protect itself because it is so enamored by the sound, the sweet music. So by the urges of the ear. Matang is the elephant. If you know how elephant is captured, what they do is, so they get a female elephant, and they have the female elephant just rush past the male elephant, just gently stroke the skin of the male elephant. As the female elephant rushes past the male elephant, just that little touch gets the male elephant so attracted, so bewildered that he starts running towards the female elephant. Now the female elephant is trained to go beyond the ditch, but the male elephant just runs straight and falls down into the ditch, which is covered by like some leaves or something. So the male elephant falls down. So he has a fall down because of just the urge of genitals. Patang is the moth or the wasp. So by the eyes, you know how it can enter even into flame because it is so bewildered by the by all the illumination of a big fire or a flame. Birang or bee. So bee will get so attracted to the scent of the flowers that it will go sit inside the flower. And at night, sometimes some of the flowers, their petals close down. So the bee gets trapped inside the flower. It loses completely its control over that sense of smell and has a fall down. Mean or the fish is driven by the tongue. So it can be easily captured by just a little, fish food that we put. So all meet their end in pursuit of the futile attempts to satisfy just one sense.
One sense.
So attachment to even just one sense costs someone so greatly. What about a person like us who has 5 powerful sense organs and all of them are uncontrolled and in all directions? So this is the analogy given from our shastras on how even one sense can cause complete, if not controlled, can cause complete bewilderment.
Mataji, where did you get this reference from?
Prabhuji, it is from one of the Upanishads. I'll have to find it.
Okay.
But it is very widely quoted with this shloka.
In a lot of time.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, but very nice. Yeah, this is nice.
I
There
won't
is
go.
very famous bhajan in Marathi. Runu zunu re bhramara, sodi tu avaguna re bhramara. Bhramar means bee. That bhramar which goes into lotus flower, but at the end of the day, in the evening, lotus flower gets closes. So he is attached to that smell and that flower is so much that he forgets to come out of that and it dies inside. So attachment can lead to more attachment, greedy can lead to your worst come worst results. That is what that bhajan by Lata Mangeshkar. Runu zunu re bhramara, sodi tu avaguna re bhramara. Yes, I want
Yes,
to
Prabhuji. Very relevant, yes.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Discuss, yes.
And this is another one I put up. You can read it, but it's the same import again. It's from Bhagavatam. So here they're saying that, again, this person is saying that my tongue is attached to palatable dishes, the genitals to sex with attractive women, sense of touch to contact with softening, belly, although filled, still wants to eat more. Ear, not attempting to hear about you, is generally attracted to cinema song. The sense of smell is attracted to yet another side. Restless eyes are attracted to sense gratification. Active senses are attracted elsewhere. In this way, I'm certainly embarrassed. So they're saying that basically all the senses are so completely overwhelmed. Every sense wants to be gratified and there are so many sources of gratification in Kali Yuga for each sense that it's hard to keep them under check. Hare Krishna, Deepak Prabhu, welcome.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Sorry I'm late. I was working. I just stepped in the house and I was trying to, open the Zoom link and I'm extremely sorry.
No, that's okay. Whenever you can join is good.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that letting me join this discourse.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for joining us. You're working, you're busy. We are all off today, I think all three. But it's inspiring that you're working today and still joining.
Yeah, somehow I came out from my nursing home, and then now I'm here.
Okay, Prabhuji. Today is a special day of Gita Jayanti. So we are not really doing our usual Bhagavad Gita reading. Everybody is just presenting some of their favorite shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. Like we are talking 5 to 10 minutes on each shloka that they like.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Okay, Vedhi, go ahead.
I did 2.70 or 70. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve shashantim apnoti na kama kami.
Yes.
A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. My understanding, you need to be undisturbed by all of these desires, because just like how the river flows into the ocean and comes and goes, the desires will also come and go. As long as we're existing in this material world and in this material body, there will always be desires, and your senses will want to be gratified all the time. Desires keep coming because our body is not full of Krishna consciousness. Because our body stays empty because we always want the desires. In the purport, they say the devotee is not disturbed by this process because he or she or they are full in Krishna consciousness. They remain satisfied with their devotion to serve Krishna, so they are never bothered by the desires. Likewise, when the river enters the ocean also goes on with what it's doing and is never bothered. Also, in 2.71, they say a person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. So you should not have any desires, and to achieve your devotion, you have to be satisfied with what you have, and you should not like try to fulfill any desires that come, and you should just be undisturbed, because it'll come and go like the seasons, and then only then you can achieve peace. Yeah.
Hari Bol.
So is it possible to not have any desires, Vedhi?
No, or maybe actually that's a good question. I think it's never not possible for us to have desires, because in this like Kali Yuga, like all of this like desires will keep coming because we want more, and if you just stay fixated on doing your like karma or dharma, and you don't bother with the results, and then also fix yourself in Krishna consciousness, I don't think desires will start coming anymore, because you're like ignoring them in a way. Does that make
Yes. Yeah. So you can think of it like this river. The analogy Krishna gives here is river into the ocean, right? So if there is an uncontrolled river, right, that can cause a flood. But if you put a dam on it, then that water can actually be utilized for something more purposeful, right? So there will be a lot of desires because we are getting bombarded on various levels by different things. I want to do this, I want to achieve that professionally, personally, socially, with friends, with whatever. I want to travel, I want to have this hobby, this talent, whatever. So many things that are constantly bombarding us, and all this media, all this exposure on social media makes it even worse, right? So many things are easily possible now that the desires are actually much more. So what we have to do is to use, we have to develop our intelligence and use our intelligence to see what desires are actually fulfilling a higher purpose in my life, fulfilling my goal, versus what are just wasteful desires, just whimsical, no value at all. So ignore those ones and entertain the ones that are in line with Krishna consciousness, right? So we always say anukulyasya krishnano pratikulyasya varjanam, right? Anukulyasya sankalpa. So sankalp means aim or strive to do something that's anukul, that is dovetailed with Krishna, and curtail those things, pratikul varjanam, curtail those things that are against Krishna. So you can fulfill those desires that are in line with your Krishna conscious activities, or even there may be some material desires, but actually they're fulfilling a higher purpose in life. Like I want to get into certain college, or I want to finish, this much studying. I want to get this kind of profession. But what is my higher purpose, right? Am I fulfilling some higher aim in life, some big goal in life, or am I just entertaining all kinds of whimsical desires without using my intelligence? So use your intelligence, and remember that Krishna gives us the right intelligence. So that's where the devotion or bhakti comes in, that if you pray, then Krishna gives you the right intelligence on what is the right thing to do and what are some of the things that should be ignored. Otherwise, it's just a flood of desires.
So yeah, I think as Mataji said it rightly, when desire comes, you have two options. Option A, is this desire taking me more to Krishna conscious? Option B, is this desire taking me away from Krishna conscious? Then that time, choose whatever option, use your right intelligence, A or B. And that's what you go, because desires will always be there, as Mataji is saying. Like river will always flow into the ocean. Ocean can't say, hey river, stop coming, I'm still. But you just let it come in, and then intelligence, use of intelligence, option A, option B. And go from there, make your choice. So that's why you always need your intelligence working. The intelligence comes from your attention. So pay attention, perception develops, intelligence develops, and then that's all. That's all tool we need. Only one tool we need to develop intelligence, our attention. If we have it, we got it.
Okay, and I just put Dhyato Vishyan is something Prabhu has already discussed before. This one is very famous, Vivasyatmika Buddhi. Vivasyatmika Buddhi is a term that's used twice in second chapter. So Vivasyatmika Buddhi basically means one purpose mind, like that of a business-minded person. Vivasya means business, right? So how a business-minded person thinks. They are aimed towards getting profit out of something, right? So they are resolute in their purpose, one-minded, or one direction intelligence. They are not many branched. So the person who's serving Krishna, their determination, their resolution is to just serve Krishna. So they align their desires according to that wish. So if you're irresolute, you don't have any purpose, you don't know where you're going, what is the goal of life, what is going on, who I am. Like Bhagavad Gita answers those questions for us, right? What I am, who am I serving, where do I come from, where am I going? All those questions are answered in Bhagavad Gita. So when we know what is our source, what is our destination, who we are, how we are in relationship to God, who God is, when we have all these questions answered, then we are not many branched anymore. Then your aim becomes one. So it's easy to achieve the goal then.
Ooh, Navya Mataji.
Okay, Navya, are you ready? If not, we can skip. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, she's ready.
Can I isha krodha isha rajoguna samudbhava mahashino mahapapma vidyena mihavar Varanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is lust, O the Arjun, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world." So Kama is lust, Krodha is anger, and Rajogana is passion. So Krishna is saying that the mode of passion is gives birth to lust, and from lust comes anger, and then the next, and it's sinful, and we.
So a mode of passion gives rise to lust and anger, and because of lust and anger, people commit sins, right? It is the
And then because lust gives birth to anger because when the people don't get their desires fulfilled, it makes them angry, and then they commit sin.
yes.
Yes, Mata. Very good.
Thank you.
Haribol.
Very bold number. Very bold. Okay. So yes, so same theme basically. So if we have desires, they will either get fulfilled or not get fulfilled. If they get fulfilled, then we become greedy because we want more desires to be fulfilled, right? So greed develops. And if the desire does not get fulfilled, then we become angry or frustrated. Why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? So either it is greed or anger, and both of them cause, they're the sinful enemies of this world. Most of the problems, crimes, sins are committed on basis of the calm or the lust and the anger. And lust basically means excessive desires. So lust in Bhagavad Gita does not just mean towards opposite sex. Lust here means excessive desires, excessive material desires.
Yeah, that if she wants chocolate and all the time she wants chocolate, if it's not fulfilled, then she'll get angry and she's not getting it. If she gets it, then she'll want more. So that's one example that's easy to understand.
Yeah, Nabe was supposed to quote that example of chocolate. Okay, so and then I just put 2 shlokas. So remember, mode of passion causes this anger and lust. So here it says that the divine energy of mind, meaning material energy, is consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Yes.
So if you take shelter of Krishna, then you can overcome that mode of passion and ignorance and be situated in mode of goodness, and actually even transcend mode of goodness one day. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the superior energy. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So if you know that Krishna is the creator, maintainer of the world, he's the cause of all causes, and if you engage in devotional service with full faith, love, and devotion, then you will not be deluded. So great souls know this, and so they are not deluded by the 3 modes of material energy, and they put themselves under the shelter of superior energy, not the inferior energy, right?
Yes.
Yog Maya, right? And material energy is Mahamaya. Okay, we'll keep moving because not too much time. Okay, Anita Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Loka 4.7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadat manam srijamai aham. So whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, Krishna says that, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, At that time, I descend myself. So Krishna is talking about the condition as and when like he will be appearing on this earth. So he says that whenever and wherever, it means there is no limitation of the place. There is no limitation that he will be appearing only in Indian land or any specific part of the world. It can be anywhere. But the condition is whenever the irreligion gets like it takes over the religion, he will appear in the form of whether he comes by himself or he can send somebody on this earth to take care, like depending on what type of help is needed to the mankind. He will make the decision whether he will come by himself or he can send somebody. So for example, sometime like he just sends Narad Muni, or like in some of the cases we have seen, he appears in the form of Buddha, as the purport of Sri Prabhupada talks in the purport here. And then we have seen him coming in the form of Krishna, Rama, Narsingh Avatar. So like I said, and as I understood, depending on the situation, what kind of condition it is, Krishna will make decision to appear as required.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Haribol.
Haribol. Mataji, I just wanted to point out these diacritics that Prabhupada uses. So like you see the line above A, it's pronounced A. So yada. Because I struggled with this in the beginning. So abhyuthanam. So whenever he puts, so these are diacritics. Srijamyaham, Tadatmanam, Srijamyaham. I think we had discussed in our classes very early on, but this is Prabhupada's style of using the diacritics. So I don't have anything much to add. This is the next shloka, and he gives a reason why he comes. So Mataji said very rightly, he comes wherever there is need to protect mankind. But the main thing he comes is to deliver the pious, paritranay sadhunam. So he does comes to annihilate the miscreants and to reestablish the religion, like he gave Bhagavad Gita. He reestablished the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita that was lost. He reestablished it 5,000 years back. So remember that the knowledge is eternal. It was not just given for the first time 5,000 years back. It's been going on from time immemorial. It was just reestablished at that time again. The main thing he comes is to spend time with his devotees. So to deliver the pious. And this shloka I like a lot because this says Krishna's, remember one time we were discussing all the various expansions, Mahavishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai, everybody was getting confused who comes from whom. So this shloka says very nicely, Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Ete chamsha kalapum sa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Ridyanti Yuge Yuge. So wherever there is a disturbance caused, created by the atheists, like Mataji said, the Lord incarnates to protect the theists. So theists are the people that believe that Bhagwan is the creator, maintainer, sustainer, everything. Atheists are the ones that do not believe that there is anything called God. So, and there is a third term also, which I will not go into today, but basically this shloka says how Krishna is the original personality of Godhead from which all incarnations emanate. And the reason for why he comes. He appears, he does not take birth. He does not take birth or dies. He does not have a material body like us. He has a spiritual body when he comes. He appears like sun appears. And when there is night, it doesn't mean that the sun has died. Sun is still there. We just can't see it. It's there in some other part of the world. So similarly, if Krishna is not in this on this planet right now, there are so many planets in this Brahmand that he could be anywhere, giving pleasure to his devotees. Okay, Binta.
I chose verse 4.10. And it says, Vita Ragha Bhaya Krodha Manmaya Mam Apshritaha Bhavo Jnana tapsa puta mad bhavan agataha. It means being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So what I understood from this verse is that many materialists, they're too connected to material nature to understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and they can't understand. But transcendentalists who surrender themselves onto him, they become purified in knowledge of him, and they attain transcendental love for him, and they have to be materially detached. They have to be detached from material nature and desire to attain the transcendental love. So.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so just the import is that if you're free of all those anarthas like anger, fear, attachments, and then with great faith you abide in me, then and render service or devotion to Krishna, then he can achieve the love of Godhead, or achieve go back home, back to Godhead. And this is a very famous slok, man manabhav madbhakto, meaning to engage your mind in Krishna, to do the bhakti, to pay obeisances and respects to Krishna, and with complete absorption, if you focus on me, you will come to me. So in everything you do, basically, we again come back to full circle. Everything you do, whatever you eat, everything you try to make it Krishna conscious. You Krishnaize it, right? You make your home a temple. You make your food prasadam. You make your work, which is otherwise very mundane professional work, you can make it completely spiritual by keeping Krishna in your center. So keeping Krishna in center at all times, right? So the consciousness changes. The consciousness from being afraid, anxious, depressed, angry, guilty, envious, from all of that, the consciousness changes to complete spiritual, of a detached, of a very loving, very compassionate person who is in mode of goodness and completely surrendered in love and faith to Krishna. So that person, Krishna says, can come to me. I just had put another one from 15th chapter, Purushottam. Remember the Purushottam Yoga? Purushottam Yoga was the name, I think. Okay, we'll just do maybe a couple more. Is that okay? Because I know Deepak Prabhu is going to sing us a song today.
Yeah, I'm going to sing a bhajan. I'm not fully prepared or rehearsed, but I'll because I was working today. I'll play in my harmonium, and you guys can join if you want to. It's Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Narayan, He Vasudeva. But I'll go slow. I mean, it won't take much. So 4 or 5 lines, I'll just sing. And I have electronic tabla with me. So I'm going to play it Kaharwa Tal. If you are familiar with it, it's Art Matra Tal. So you can join, or I'll just sing. I'll wait when you guys. I can do it the last one thing to do. So you guys can.
We'll do a couple more presentations because everybody has prepared it for Gita Jayanti. But we are very eager to hear from you. And I'm glad you were not here for the first part when I sang the song, because you are very musically talented. So.
No, I not like today. Probably I'm not because I usually do riyaz at least an hour before I sing, but I've not done any riyaz. I had some throat problems, and I actually am scheduled for a laryngoscopy next week. So I'll do my best.
Prabhuji, again, just think of Krishna and it'll come out best. And
Yeah,
especially with our crowd, you don't have to worry too much.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, Avinash, go ahead. Yes.
Can you go back a slide?
Yes.
Just really quickly. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I can't see Avinash.
Avinash is there.
I am with
Yes, I
Vaidehi.
can see him.
I am with Vaidehi.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. He's
Okay,
saying,
Avinash.
yes, Vedahi, Avinash and Abhijit Prabhu. Abhinav Prabhu.
I see only 3 screens, including me is 4. Is that right?
Are
You
you
can
on?
speak, Prabhuji, and you'll be able to see.
Prabhuji, there are should be 9 screens.
Okay, I'm seeing only, I think, 3. That's okay.
Okay, Avinash, go ahead.
5.18 विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गावी हस्तिने श्रूणि चैव श्रताके च पंडिता सुने समादर्शिने. Person who has the true knowledge will not differentiate between any species or caste, because a true knowledgeable person knows Paramatma is present in everyone's heart, and Supreme Lord treat everyone as his friend regardless of living entities. A true or learned transcendentalist does not make any difference on the basis of the body. And we all know that a true knowledge can help us in liberation of this life and can also help in conquering the condition of birth and death. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Very cool. Thank you. So I don't think anybody will have any questions. We've talked so much about this that we should treat people same. A learned person sees that they're all just spirit souls, all are just part and parcels of Krishna, and they are maybe different species, different gender, different religion, different countries, because of their previous karmas or for various other material reasons. But inside is the spirit soul, which is just serving Krishna. So we don't try to hurt anybody or try to discriminate on basis of those differences. So this was, I like this shloka, this is 5.7, Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. So again, a person who is Jitendriya and someone who's won their senses, but another quality of a learned person is not only the control of mind and senses, not only that they're Vishuddhatma, meaning who is a pure soul, like in mode of goodness, but also who is dear to everybody and everybody is dear to him. So like in Krishna consciousness, we say Uttam Adhikari. Uttam Adhikari are at that platform. They are such high devotees of Krishna. They do not differentiate between different people based on their bodily differences. And then this one also, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, Na Shochati Na Kankshati, meaning he doesn't lament and doesn't desire. Kankshati comes from like Akanksha, so it doesn't desire. And Shochati, like doesn't lament. Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu, so he is equal to everybody. So it's called equanimity. Equipoised means when we deal with different situations like dualities in the same way, that is equipoised, and equanimity is used for when we treat different people, even though they're bodily different, they have bodily differences, we treat them same. So then he can attain. So Krishna is giving various qualities of a person who can attain pure devotional service. So bhakti, like some people say, it's very nice, very well quoted in ISKCON. It's simple and easy. It can be free, but it's not cheap. It's free but not cheap. It's simple but not easy. Is that right, Nirbhay? Something like that, right? It's free. Bhakti is free, but it's not cheap. Like you have to work hard for it. So people take it cheaply. It shouldn't be taken cheaply. It comes at a cost, and the cost is to change your consciousness completely. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to move. Okay. Okay, Nitya Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
Hey Krishna. So I was on 5th chapter. Bhuktaram Yagnataptam Sarvalokana Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. Translation: a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and the supreme lord of all and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So I think this is a very powerful shloka said in the 5th chapter. And here Krishna is, pretty much telling, like we have talked about this in the past, that if you are a owner of something and you say that I am the owner, it is not being proud, right? If you have owned this house and you say, this is my house, or if somebody is taking your car away, you say, no, this is my car. It is not that you are being proud saying that this is your car. No, it's not like that. So similarly, Krishna here very clearly is explaining, because some people said that because some people say, Krishna, it's not really Krishna who's saying Bhagavad Gita, or it's not, or Krishna is, why is he acting like this? He says that I'm this. He's saying it's because it's the truth, right? It is the eternal truth. So that's why Krishna says that. So here Krishna again very beautifully describes a person in full consciousness of me. So we talk about Krishna consciousness, and that is our goal, so that we can be fully conscious of Krishna, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary. So all that we are doing, all work, like Prabhuji was saying earlier, Ravi Prabhu mentioned that whatever work we do, we are doing it for Krishna. Right? So ultimate beneficiary of whatever work we do is not us. We are not doing something we should not do anything for ourselves, because our eternal position is dasanu 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 das. Okay, our eternal position is as a servant of the God, or servant of the God. That is our eternal position. So we should do our work thinking about Krishna as the Supreme Personality and the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. And sacrifices and austerities here also includes all the yagnas we are doing, all the penances we are doing. If we are doing any, if we do Ashtanga Yoga, even that, the final beneficiary of any of that is Krishna. So once we understand that, whatever yagna we do, we understand that, Krishna is the final person. He's yagna himself. He's the taker of the yagna himself. So whatever we do, we should do it for Krishna, and in that consciousness, if we are, then we are Krishna conscious. Then we can truly think ourselves to be in Krishna consciousness, whatever penance, whatever activity we do, and that is the way to get peace in this world. So same about demigods. We talk about demigods, and there are multiple chapters, multiple shlokas in Bhagavad Gita where worship to demigods is explained. And here it's also explained then that after that, to understand that, we recently had this discussion that, where Krishna says, whatever God you pray to, you reach to their planet. But the ultimate benefactor, ultimate destination that we should have is Krishna, because Krishna is on top of all the demigods. It's like we have talked about the example that there is an administrator president, and then there is his administration, people working for him. But the final goal is Krishna. So everything we do is doing for Krishna. So Natasha already showed a couple of shlokas which talks about the same thing. But we have also talked about Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadirana Govinda Vasudev Sarvakaran Karana. So Vasudev Sarvamiti. Maybe this is another one. But it's Krishna himself. This is from Brahma Samhita, the one that I quoted, that he is the cause of all causes. He is the final person who's the who for whom all the penances, all the austerities, all the yagnas, all the worship to demigods, everything should be for him. And if we do that, then it says at the end, that is the way to reach peace, eternal peace. So just wanted to read these other shlokas that we had pulled up. One is from 9.29. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshasti na prayaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapayaham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal for all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So Krishna reciprocates in whatever way we approach him. So if somebody approaches him as an atheist, he will give him an understanding that okay, he'll reciprocate the same way. So the whole discussion in seventh canto of Bhagavatam, which talks about is Krishna partial to his devotees. Yudhishthir Maharaj asks this question to Narad Muni, and about is Krishna partial to his devotees? And the answer is no. I'm not partial. I respond in whichever way people approach me. So there was the same time Dhritarashtra was there, same time Duryodhan was there, the same time Arjuna was there, but all different people approached Krishna in different way. So Arjuna knew that he is Supreme Lord, and he gave himself away, surrendered completely to him. Karpanya doshopahata swabhava, surrendered himself to him, and Krishna reciprocated the same way, became a spiritual master, gave him the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Whereas Duryodhan was also at the same time, and he never accepted Krishna to be the Supreme Godhead. So Krishna reciprocated the same way with him. It's not that Krishna was partial towards Arjuna. So this is a slightly deeper concept which has a lot of discussion in it. I'll just move ahead then. Shriya Patir Yagna Pati Praja. Oh, that's is equal to all. Shriya Patir Yagna Pati Prajapatir.
Hold on, Nirbhay.
Patir
So,
Lo.
Vedai had a shloka in the same tune I wanted to point out at that time, so she can see how you're singing.
Okay, so this is the Karpanya Dosha shloka, tune.
So Vedai's was also, so if you see some shlokas are long. So like this one, Vedai is sung like how Nirbhay Prabhu is singing. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudram apapravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sa shantimapnoti na kamakami. So like that Nirbhay Prabhu is singing this one.
Yes, Bhagavatam shlokas or some shlokas from Bhagavad Gita are sung in this kind of tune. Shriya patir yagnapati prajapatir dhiyam patir loka patir dharapati patir gatis chandaka vrishni satvatam prasedatam tame bhagavan satam patihi. May Lord Shri Krishna, who is the worshipable Lord of all devotees, the protector and glory of all the kings like Andaka and Vrishni of the Yadu dynasty, the husband of all goodness of fortune, goddess of fortune, the director of all sacrifices and therefore the leader of all living entities, the controller of all intelligence, proprietor of all planets, spiritual and material, and the supreme incarnation on the earth, the supreme all in all, be merciful upon me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Shall we do, I know that 4 people, Sheetal Mataji, Avni, Abhishek Prabhu and Vinay Prabhu are still to go, but I think we're running out of time.
Natasha, I think today we should just go ahead and give them, I mean, they should be done in like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. We should go ahead and finish them.
We'll stay for a little longer today then.
Will stay longer because they're all prepared, highly motivated. Let them finish it, Mataji.
I think so too.
Okay, sure.
Prabhuji, are you okay to wait for the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm free now till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
That's good.
Bol Deepak Prabhuji. Sheetal Mataji. Let's say.
Hare Krishna, everybody. I have chapter 6, sloka 6.
Can everyone hear you?
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
That we can. I mean, a little louder. Yeah.
Okay. बन्धुरात्मा मनस्तस्य येनात्मैवात्मना जितः अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेतात्मैव शत्रुवतः. Translation: For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So this chapter 6 is talking about Dhyan Yoga, and the eightfold yoga system is discussed, which Prabhuji just mentioned, the Ashtanga Yoga, which is recommended to control the mind, but it is kind of difficult. The purpose of the yoga system is to control the mind, to draw away from the attachment to the sense objects. Now, a lot of shlokas that were discussed previously, like starting from Raina Shloka 2.67, which says that even one of the roaming senses, where it's difficult for the mind to kind of stay focused, but it is important. Or Vaidehi Shloka, where she said that a person who is not disturbed by the flow of desires can achieve peace. So to attain Krishna consciousness or to become a real yogi, a yogi is somebody who renounces the desire for sense gratification. He does not engage in fruitive activities, and he knows that he is a part and parcel of Krishna, and he has to surrender and carry out all the activities that are directed by the Lord. So in real yoga, the practice entails meeting the Paramatma, which is within your heart, and then following his dictation. So for that, anybody, like, the mind is cause of bondage, because mind is absorbed in the senses, and the same mind is also the cause of liberation, because when you train the mind and detach it from sense objects, and that can lead to the liberation. So when mind is not controlled, it will stay with you as the enemy. That's what the shloka is talking about. And thus your mission for your life, whatever, like liberation, that mission is not achievable. And if the mind is an unconquered enemy, one will be subject to lust, anger, etc. But when the mind is conquered, one voluntarily abides by the dictation of the Lord, the Paramatma. And that is what, like, is our constitutional position. So when you practice Krishna consciousness, you are automatically surrendered to the dictation of the Lord. So that's why, like, the controlling of mind is very important.
Haribol.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, not only for liberation, to achieve anything in life, we have to control our mind.
Yeah,
And
it
even
was like
for-
connected to all the shlokas which everybody said, like, what are the characteristics of a person to achieve Krishna consciousness, and the mind, as it's rightly said, that it's because it leads you both ways. It can lead you to attachment, and that's why you have to train the mind and go towards detachment.
I mean, even in the day-to-day life, the mind plays game with you all the time, starting from the early morning. You turn off your snooze your alarm right away, first thing. Mind is playing game with you. Why to get up now? It's 13-degree outside. Hey, sleep some more. That's the first game. And slow like that, the mind keeps playing game with you all the time in the full day. That's a daily activity. So that's what it is say. Like, if you control the mind with your right intelligence, which comes from Krishna, by being Krishna conscious, and then he said, no, I have to get up. My God has got up 4:30. I have to do Mangal Arti. Why should I sleep? That's where the mind will become like, okay, this intelligent person kind of controlling me, so I have to become his friend, no more enemy. It doesn't take long, but it takes a lot of effort.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Avni Mataji.
Number 34.
Loudly, loudly.
I can't hear you. Panchalam himana Krishna parmati balvadridam tasyaham nigraham manye ayur eva shudushparam.
The translation: the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. So, like, in this shloka, the mind, it says that that there's like 4 qualities of the mind. It's always flickering or like moving around or restless, turbulent, obstinate, which is like stubborn, and like very strong. And then Arjun says that it's very difficult to control the mind and that controlling the wind is easier than controlling the mind. And so like sometimes the mind overcomes the intelligence, even though it's supposed to be subservient to the intelligence. And the solution to this problem is said in the next shloka, which is practice and detachment. So like we must practice to focus the mind on the super soul, and we must detach the mind from activities not devoted to the Lord. And as in Mami Shloka, it's that like the mind can be your worst enemy or it can be your best friend. Yeah, and so like an example of this would be like if you're studying and then all of a sudden you start thinking about like Taco Bell or something, and then all of a sudden like you really want Taco Bell, but then like you're supposed to be studying, so then you're supposed to like just stop thinking about that and just focus on your studying, and then maybe later you can have Taco Bell. So yeah.
Haribol.
Thank you. Very good.
Good job.
Practically,
So did she ever go to Taco Bell, Prabhuji? Did you?
Yes, we went.
Actually, we did go to Taco Bell, and I was so happy.
Yeah, we got Taco Bell after my basketball game last week.
Okay. Because I'm like, this Taco Bell has been going on for a few weeks now. So this is the sense object from which you have to withdraw your senses. Vishay Vastu. So in Hindi, it's called Vishay Vastu, sense object. And Vishay is the senses. Vishya Vinivartante, right? So you withdraw your senses like a tortoise, right? Like tortoise withdraws its limbs. No, but Taco Bell can be done, I think. Okay, I had put this up. We don't need to go into it, but this is the analogy of the chariot and the driver and the passenger, and we've discussed this many times, so I'll not go into it. Okay, Binay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. 7.9 Punyo Gandha Prithivyam Cha Tejas Chasmi Vibhavaso Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu Tapas Chasmi Tapasvisu. So Krishna is saying that I'm the original fragrance of earth. I'm the heat in fire. I'm the life in all that lives, and I'm the penance of all aesthetics. So it's like whatever you see on this earth, it's like not just India, but anywhere. The fragrance that comes from earth, the soil, I'm not sure like if anyone has experienced that soil has its own fragrance, especially like after a hot day, when you see some raindrops coming out, or I don't know if you have played any games in rain, then like you can feel that fragrance of soil. So Krishna is saying that original fragrance of earth, that is Krishna. There's nothing in it, just kind of a pure fragrance. At the same time, you see flowers, trees, and everything. So whatever you feel like, the fragrance coming out of it or the beauty of it is Krishna. In example, like, everything around you is full of Krishna, and that's why you should respect everything that is around you, the land, the trees, air, water, everything. You should have the respect. You should treat with respect, and then you should know how precious it is. And since it's part of being Krishna, you have to care for it. Tejas chasmi vibhavaso. Vibhavaso is like fire. The heat in fire, or that light that comes from the fire, that's also like Krishna is saying that, I'm that light, I'm that heat that is coming from the fire. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapaschasmi. So anything that any living being, like, Krishna is there in those living being. Doesn't matter, like, if you're Hindu or Christian, Muslim, or any other religion. Like, Hindu is constituent of like thousands of religion. To be precisely, I think, like, it's 36 lakhs or 56 lakhs or crores. So anything, like, any living being is Krishna. And you should not differentiate that, oh, I worship Krishna, so why I should care for, like, someone is Muslim or someone is practicing, like, other religion, Christianism, Jainism, or anything else. If you have a friend, like, today is Christmas, so I see nice hats and reindeer horns and everything. So, it's a part of, like, respecting the other religions and enjoying, like, everything around you. That's also, like, Krishna is saying that I'm the life in what is around you. Then the last part, he says, Krishna says that tapasvisu, I forgot the, let me go back a little bit. Yeah, tapaschasmi tapasvisu. The penance of tapasvi, like, so if you desire to get something, like, normally what I got from it when I read it, it's like when you desire something, then, like, you work hard for it. So that penance is also Krishna, that desire and kind of, the effort that you put to get something, that also kind of, comes from Krishna. A lot of it, like, was not part of Bhagavad Gita. It's kind of my explanation. It may be right, may be wrong, I don't know. But hopefully, like, it gives some sense.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think all the what you said is kind of from Bhagavad Gita. Abhinav Prabhu already said that today. That right?
Avinash.
Brahmastini, that shloka. I think that fits rightly with what you said. That whatever all the entities, we everybody has Krishna, everybody has part the Paramatma in them. So we all are part and parcels of Krishna, all living entities. Even forget about just different human beings, different religions. Even Bhagavad Gita goes ahead and goes forward to say even all the animals and everybody, learned person sees everybody as Paramatma in them. Because it's just like at the time of death, what that person, that living entity thought about, that's what they become. So if they thought about a horse, they would become a horse. If they thought about a cow, they would become a cow. They thought about a human or their loved ones, they will become human if they have done the karmas accordingly. So yes, so it's the knowledge. Krishna says, I'm all knowledge. So all knowledge that you are saying is not wrong, then it's from Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. I was giving up this chapter 10 sneak peek where he gives many more of these. So he's basically a sense of everything, right? He says, I'm ability in man. So जैसे तपस्वियों की ability is to do tapasya. So he says कि तपस्वियों का तप हूँ मैं. So जैसे कि अब Deepak Prabhu is going to sing. So that singing ability that comes from Krishna. So everything that we can do perfectly, that we are that the fire ki capability is heat. So what makes that person, that comes from Krishna. What makes us alive, the consciousness comes from Krishna. That is why we need to be Krishna conscious, we say. And he gives all these, that I'm best among everything. So the best thing, जैसे कि खीर में अगर if it's not sweet, then it's not kheer, right? So खीर का essence, खीर का धर्म, खीर की nature is to be sweet. That sweetness is Krishna. So everything, the essence of everything, the main foundation of everything, what makes that thing that particular, gives that particular quality to that thing is Krishna. So I just want to give a sneak peek because chapter 10 is so glorious. Krishna talks about his glories at Arjun's request. So he says, I'm Arjun among Pandavas. I'm Prahlad among the demons. So many things he says. We'll do that when the time comes. Okay. So Abhishek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I chose 7.15. Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya prahritgyana asuram bhavmashrita. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So, to my understanding, by surrendering one into the lotus feet of Supreme Personality Krishna, one can surmount the stringent laws of material nature. Haribol.
Okay, Abel, thank you. So this was actually one of the last few that we had done in 7th chapter, where Krishna says 4 kind of people that do not come to me, do not surrender to me, and then he says 4 type of people that do come to me, right? This is that that shloka, and he's calling these people all kinds of names: Dushkritino, Moda, Naradhama, Maya, Pradhyana, Asuram Bhavam, so many things. So those are those people. Nana Prabhuji is laughing.
Yeah. Muda, Naradhama.
Okay, so Prabhuji, we missed today's shloka from you. I didn't think you'd be able to attend, and actually Murli Prabhu also. We missed. Murli Prabhu didn't pick any. Next time. Yes, Prabhuji.
I mean, Prabhuji can recite one sloka. Do you have the Gita? You want to recite one sloka that you have found so much useful or like interesting?
We can't let him go with the short rope, Prabhuji. We have to give him time to prepare, so he prepares and presents.
Okay.
Vijay, Natasha, Murli prepared one. He just did not.
Yeah, please, Prabhuji, that will be nice. Kindly share.
Which one is it?
It's a 3.21.
Okay, perfect. Good, Prabhuji. I'll pull it up. Oh, ये तो बहुत अच्छा श्लोक है. Perfect. We will follow in Murli Prabhu's footsteps after this one.
Oh, yes.
So, Edyadacharati Sreshtastha Tad Devetaro Janaha Sayat Pramanam Kurute Lokasta Dhanuvartate. So, whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets for exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So Krishna says that great person's responsibility is like to set a responsible role, like proper manner, right standard for others, whoever is following, if he's a leader. So according to some dharma shastras, leader have to accept 1/6 of karma of his followers. So if he set good standards, he will get good karma. If he set not good standards, he will get sinfulness karma, like that. 1/6 of. So you have to set a good standards.
So Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
So that's what it is. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Reminds me of we should probably put a copyright thing on Spider-Man, right?
Why is that?
Any of the kids want to tell why?
Say what?
We're
Any
in.
of the kids want to say how is this shloka related to Spider-Man?
Oh, with power comes
With
great
power
Oh,
comes great responsibility.
oh, yes. You're right.
That one.
So pretty much that is what they're saying. With great power comes great responsibility, right? That's a catchphrase for Spider-Man. But this is what Krishna is saying, that whatever the leaders do, the other people follow. So the leaders have actually more responsibility to act in a nice manner and actually Krishna conscious manner, because that's as Murli Prabhu said, that what happens in the whatever people are doing, the leader gets actually karma from it also. Yes, Murli Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I wanted to just not add anything, but like, it's our day-to-day life, as we say, leaders, so like in our family, as it said, like, there are a lot of questions, how do we do the parenting? What should we do for parenting? So the kids, that they're, that's the leader. So in our house, who is our leader? So basically the parents. So what here it says the same thing in the day-to-day life we can apply. Whatever we do, we don't even have to tell them to the kids, this is what you have to do. You just do it and they will see it and they will see that's a standard and they will follow it. So this sloka can be used in our daily application like this. We should also do the right thing, make a right decision, make a right choice, control our desires. So we can't expect the kids to do the control of desires, whereas we just sit and have a lot of sense gratification.
Yes.
So the set standard is basically starts from the home. So this is what I would apply in my day-to-day life. Like whatever I will do, my kids supposed to have that standard, and so I should go by the Shastra, whatever the Shastra has set for me. Like as we know that we have two sets of duty. One is our conditional duty, like whatever condition we are in, as a son, as a husband, as a father, as a brother, that's our conditional duty. And then we have our Sanatan duty, like constitutional duty, keeping Krishna in center, do our conditional duty. And if we do this, the kids don't have to be taught how to be, what to do, what is right and what is wrong. No morality. They will know what is right and what is wrong. Once they know what is their conditional duty and what is their constitutional duty. So this sloka, I think, is a very appropriate, Murli Anna, you chose at the end, and we're going to take this from here. We are the standard. So Sunday, 8:30, we have to be ready up for the kids, not in the back bench.
Period.
Raviji, why do you have to bring me in the
Hare Krishna. I got you, Lalita Mataji.
I'm sitting, Raviji, I'm sitting here.
Rishika, now he's talking about Rishika.
Thank you. I was thinking of exactly the same thing about parenting. And, charity starts at home. Similarly, Krishna consciousness starts in the home. Then we can spread it into community or nation or world. But we have to become conscious ourselves first. Change the change comes from, starts from home. So you're right. Kids will imbibe whatever we show them.
Yeah, I think it is said also, like, you should not, parenting means you just have to do the right thing. That's all. You don't have to teach your kids anything because they don't listen, which I have experienced also. They'll not listen. They'll just watch and do. If you do the thing, if, like, for example, if I'm not running outside in this winter, being like 13 degree, and I can't say, okay, you need to go and run. They will not do it. So they'll see me, okay, I'm going and running. I'm doing my Surya Namaskar in the outside in the fresh air, even if it is cold. So I don't have to tell them in their future. They know, okay, he can do, let me do also. So it's just the example. You have to set the example right, and that's all the parenting is.
Prabhuji. Thank you, everybody, for very nice presentations, for putting effort into it.
And thank you, Mataji. It was your great idea. I mean, that's everything started from you. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
I didn't do anything, Prabhuji. Next time we'll have Kahoot quiz, by the way.
Hare Krishna.
So,
Please keep the language in Kahoot simple. You have to just give me some kind of a relief and some kind of a discount. My language is not strong.
okay, Prabhuji, I'll look at it again. Yes, we'll start chapter 8 and do the Kahoot quiz and we'll go from there. Okay, Prabhuji, are you ready?
Yeah, to sing, yeah, I'm ready.
So typically what we do is lead and follow, like you sing and then you sing one line and then we follow. Will that fit your?
Yeah. Let's try it. Let me put it 1 second. Let's try how it works because I'm also new to this. And if you know the bhajan,
I think we all know this one, right?
You know this bhajan?
And we'll follow you anyways. So whatever tune you sing.
Okay, let's see. And let me know if you guys can hear it. I mean, you can hear it all. So let's try this. Can you hear the Tanpura?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Is that C sharp? Let me put it in. You can hear it, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
And the harmonium, can you hear it?
Yes.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana. Can you get it?
Yes,
Yes. We should follow.
I'll put in tabla.
बंदे ग्रह के गुलाबकारी बंदे ग्रह के गुलाबकारी यहाँ पे जल start, you can do it.
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari
He Nath Vasudeva Govind Hare Murari Nath Vasudeva
Nath Swami Nath Swami Sakha
Nath Vasudeva
I don't know if it was audible or not, but
Oh, it was very nice, very famous.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Beautiful.
oh, thank you.
Very beautiful, brother.
Thank you. I mean, next time we can plan something like more coordinated, but even I was a little bit out of practice, so but I just tried, you know.
No, beautiful. Yes, you can do better kirtans with you around. You should always join.
Okay, thank
How did you add in the tabla, Prabhuji?
you. It is iPro Tabla. I don't know if you can see it.
Uh-huh.
So I have set it at 140 BPM
Oh.
beats per minute, and it's at Keharwa. The Theka is Keharwa. So, and then I have put it in with like Bose
Oh, okay.
Bluetooth. So I can change it or I can keep it as in also Tanpura, just to do Om or like, you know, they did that line that Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanirabhavati Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanirabhavati So we can do that mantra. I mean, all the shlokas also in, if I know it. prepare
thank you, Prabhuji.
next
So
time.
you need to come on board with us Sunday morning 8:30, and we do the kirtan with you.
Sure, sure. What we can do is we can set a kirtan, so we practice, so you guys know which one, and then I can send a little audio thing to everyone, so you know how I'm doing it. Because this I just do random. It is hard to pick up like what is the next line I'm going to sing, or I'm playing an interlude in between. So it's hard to like go with it. Or we can just do like this yada yada we can do, or we can do just om also. It's very meditating. Om. We can just do a sa. Sa. Om Shri Hari Om Shri
We are doing also like I think on one of the Saturdays we have doing like a separate class for music, like understanding. Maybe we could start something like that. If you want to learn,
Yeah, yeah.
you
It's
could,
very, yeah. Everybody has phone. There's a Droid Tanpura.
we
You
can
can
learn something,
free.
how to sing kirtan and stuff, and we try to do Vaishnav songs if possible.
Yeah,
But these are all good, and specifically if we can, whichever way we can connect to Krishna, we should
yeah.
try. And seem like you have a beautiful voice, and you're so good with the harmonium and with music. We should use that for service of Krishna, definitely.
Vaishnu Jan, if it's okay, we can do it next time.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can set up a time for that, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if it's related to Krishna, but Vaishnu Jan.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is, but I think we can. So we can. I think we can. If people want, we can set up a separate time for this thing.
Right.
This is because in that typically what we do is Bhagavad Gita discussion. That is one time, and maybe we can set up another time for just this, like learning kirtan from you or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. It
All
was
right.
beautiful.
Is it chanting time?
Yes.
Yeah, one round.
Yes.
So today is Ekadashi. Try to do more if possible, or at least what you're doing.
Fasting today, so.
Are you fasting, Deepak ji?
Yeah. My mother is fasting too. I'm fasting today also.
So question for you, Deepak, this is just a quick one. So you will not break your fast today, or you will eat some fruits by evening? Like already is evening.
I'll eat some after Sham ka puja ke baad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody try to avoid grains if possible, at least. Okay,
Yeah.
and then more chanting. Okay. You can just say it, bro. You don't have to sing it.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale
Krishna Vitaya Putale Bhakti Vedanta Swamine Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasudhi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasudhi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasudhi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna